All right, Bria, I'm taking a look now at your final project, and it looks like you submitted it in two parts here. So let me pull up this first part and let's see how you've done here. So you've written it in APA, and it looks very good here. The heading and everything, or title page looks very good. You got the title here again, so that's good. So let's see how you've done in covering these different elements here throughout your paper. Applying to a job in 2025 is the statistical equivalent of hurling your resume into a black hole, reads the tagline of a recent article in Business Insider. Commas, remember that just for future reference, remember commas and periods should always go inside quotation marks when there are quotes there. Reads the tagline. Okay, ETO 2025. Also, don't forget whenever you cite something, you should also have the page or paragraph number in there. In this case, it'd probably be page numbering. So it would be Ito, comma, 2025, comma, and then the page number, which would be like P period and then a number. To put it lightly, the current job market is stark. In response, the workforce has become, in some cases, unmotivated, in other cases, tumultuous. Switching jobs. Okay, so there's a little bit of a run-on sentence here. Okay. And she explains how best to Tyler purports the time. Okay, so I can tell the topic. I think I can tell the genre by the way verbs you use here, such as purports and explains. And she makes a case for the value. Would have been more convincing if good. So your thesis is good. You tell what's good, and you also note something that would have been better, could have been done better. So that's great. And I think that also covers your purpose. Now, who is your audience? Okay, I'm not sure who your audience is. Who your intended audience is for this paper? It's not clarified in there, so that's a little bit of a lack of clarity there for that. Um, let's see. In Beat the Clock, the author points to an evolution in the practice of time management, concentrating on saving time. You should try to avoid using second person like you or your. So here, what you might have said instead of saying you or your, um, you might have said, it is the task necessary to work toward one's goals, right? So that would have been a little better maybe for that. One strategy Tyler recites from Don Wetmore of the Productivity Institute involves employee outlining. Okay, so now what you do for this, in a case where you've actually quoted Don Wetmore, who was used within Tyler's article, you would put something here before the word Tyler in the parentheses. You would put something like, I think with APA, it's referenced in. You might want to double check me on that, but it's source within a source is what you would look for to see how is done. And I'm thinking it's referenced in Tyler is what that should have said, and then it also would have had the paragraph and page number. So um, that's not a big deal, but it's something to remember for the future. Uh, so your historical cultural context, I believe, was there. Core idea was there. So you got details. You got some good details. You got some good evidence to back up those details in the form of source citations from the article. So you did a good job with the body paragraphs there and having those things. Then here's your conclusion. Okay, so overall your part one's not too bad. It's just the biggest problems was the lack of clarity in the audience. I couldn't tell who you were specifically writing this paper to, but otherwise it was pretty good. All right, let me go back to your submissions and take a look now at your audience. This is the second audience, right? Second audience, yes. Okay. So this would be down here. Now, the one thing it looks like is missing is you don't really have a discussion, like a paragraph here, as you would see in the exemplar. I'm not sure if you used the exemplar or not. You might have, because you did do a lot of things that the exemplar shows. But one of the things the exemplar shows you to do is to have a paragraph here where you actually introduce the new audience. You tell who they are specifically, and you don't have that, so I have to take that off. Uh, so let's see what you have here. In the age of TikTok influencers becoming millionaires, abandoning your career. You might be working too much, stressed about meeting deadlines, creating time to spend with your family or interest. Okay, so here it seems like you're just talking to anybody who reads it. So I'm still not seeing your specific different audience here. Uh, for certain employees. Okay, so here you mentioned certain employees, but that's very vague. Employees would cover just about everybody, right? A huge number of people would fall into the broad category of just being employees. She makes the case. So the thesis statement looks good, like it was in the other one. Okay, so once again, the audience needs is not clear. I'm not going to take it completely off, but it's not very clear just because I can't really tell who your new audience is. Um, this looks a lot like the same thing that you wrote in the other one, so I'm not sure if you've changed it very much. All right. So it feels to me like there was not much difference in the writing situation or style. So you haven't really changed anything to fit this new different audience, and I can't even really tell for sure who that new audience is. Um, I'll go ahead and give you okay on your writing conventions. You don't really. Let me see what the writing. Yeah, actually, the writing conventions aren't that good because you didn't really change for part two. You didn't really change your writing much at all for part two. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and give you clear communication because I don't want to hit you too hard with all this. Citations were okay. Um, so it gives you 79, almost a B, not far from a B. So that will do it for this video. Obviously, if you have questions or anything, let me know.